Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the IT Hour brought to you by JumpCloud. I'm Ben Garrison, technical champion here at JumpCloud, and we have the most amazing panel on the face of the planet, and we probably have one of the coolest announcements and things to talk about today. So, in normal IT hour fashion, we're going to go over some updates with community meetups. We're going to go into some of our releases, and we're going to have a little bit talk about that. So, again, feel free to participate in the chat, which I see some people already doing. So hello to everybody. I see Rob, I see Jeff, I see Joe and John and Brett. Keith, thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Really good showing. And if you do want to participate in this conversation, there is the chat. There's the ask a question feature as well, which is in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. You can also come on and talk to us here in person if you actually want to come and ask a question and be on the show, which is, I mean, why wouldn't you want to be on the greatest show on the face of the planet? But just know that if you do come on stage, that your voice, your face, and your likeness will be recorded, and that will also be on the internet for the world to see. So if you do not consent to that, then please do not come on stage and or disconnect from the session now. That was the legal disclaimer that we have to put into every one of our shows. So I'm going to shut up now. We're going to dive in. We're going to hand it over to Becky to talk about community updates, which have been amazing. So yeah, Becky, a brief introduction, please, and then your updates.
Well, thanks, Ben. You're right. It is the best group, the best show, the all. I keep waiting for Ben to, when he talks about being a technical champion, to go, I'm waiting for that intro.
Let's try it out. Does that work? Should it be
There you go.
fingers like this or like this?
Or
is it like,
I don't know.
Ooh,
Your
choice.
Choice.
I gotta do a poll. Interlocking fingers or okay, anyways, moving on.
Yeah, do a poll. Okay. Hey everybody, I'm Becky Scot, Senior Manager of Community here at JumpCloud. And once again, just like every week, I get to talk about community, and it's one of my favorite things. So just to let you know, first thing, we made some minor updates to fix a few issues that we heard about on Windows, just some minor things about some font issues and stuff like that. I will do an update on the community to let everyone know as we make changes. I'll do some blog posts and things like that. So keep an eye out for those. And also as we do feature updates and things like that. We've got a blog post and shares out in social coming on Monday to kind of give a bigger push for community to let everybody know that we are in business. So that's exciting. We continue to let everybody know that the forums are here for all y'all. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And if you are already in the community and you haven't done so yet, go find the welcome post and introduce yourself and get to know a few of the locals, if you will. So go do that, please. And here's something fun that we're getting ready to roll out. We have a founding member badge. It's really cool. It's kind of sweet. And we're going to be rolling that out soon to people. And what that means is we will give that to the people who have been here helping us roll it out from the beginning. If you've come in while we're promoting the new community, you'll get it. But I'm thinking that there's probably going to be a catch. So just joining, it may not be enough to get this nice little prize. I mean, let's say you go to a party and you just kind of walk in and turn around and then walk back out. You might not get the party favors, right? So I'm thinking you might need to stick around and contribute in some way, maybe give a kudo or two, add a little value to the community in some way. What do you think, Ben?
Well, first of all, is the badge open and available to JumpCloud employees?
I don't know. You might have to convince me of that because this is for the community. Well, I guess you are a community member. I suppose maybe if you twist my arm, I might.
Well, then,
I might give it to you.
Yeah, let's go. Because if I have to quit my job to get that badge, I might have to consider it. I'm just kidding. No, no. I think the founding member badge is huge. I think that for anybody who is in the community and has been there from the beginning and is active and participating, I think it's great to have a founding member badge. So that's a fantastic idea, and I support it 100%. So, how many of those are we going to be giving out? 50, 100?
It's close to 100, but we still have some people who have come in and just kind of looked around, but they haven't really done anything yet. So I'd like to see them, give a kudo or two or say hello. It doesn't have to be a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
just
Well, hey,
a little bit of
if
something.
you've signed up, thank you. If you signed up and have not posted, let's go.
What are you waiting for?
Come on, let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Or
Come
just
on.
find one of my posts, not anybody else's posts, and give me a kudo. Thank you. All right.
Oh, now I know somebody, and I don't know if he's watching today, but I know someone in particular who's gonna fight you on that.
Actually, I think Steven reached out to
Steven,
me, and he was at the top, and I voted him to the top, and then he was beating me by one, and then I came back and I got to the top, and he was like, "Wait a minute, I was number one." I was like, "Not anymore, sucker." So hey, let's go ahead and get those kudos going.
I'm telling you, there's going to be some fierce competition on who's going to be at the top of the kudo leaderboard. So we could have some fun with that. So
Indeed.
go have some fun. See if you can knock Ben and Steven off the leaderboard, and go to it. But anyway, I'll put the link in the. Oh, he's saying bring it. It's on. I will put the links in the chat for the community, and also if you have any questions or need feedback or reach out to us, I'll put our email in there as well. So
Beautiful.
there you go.
All right. Thanks so much, Becky. I appreciate it. And that's our community update, which is one of the most fun things I've ever been a part of. So appreciate it. Moving on, part of community, but in a little bit of a different area and a little bit more like in face, in person, and stuff like that is Alexa to talk about our meetups.
Awesome. Yeah. So, hi, everyone. I'm Alexa Emerson. I am the community events manager here at JumpCloud, and we've just been having a blast. As you can see, I'm on Becky and Ben's team, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's hard to believe we're already wrapping up month 2 of our meetup series. So in case this is the first time you're joining, just to give a little bit of context, the meetups, like Ben alluded to, are events. So they're very informal, very casual events, but it's really just a chance to bring the virtual collaboration that we see in the Slack Lounge and now in the community forums to life. So we meet face to face. We've been mostly virtual right now just to be super safe and to kind of gauge interest. But yeah, we've been meeting virtually and in person. And it's really just an opportunity for IT admins to connect and collaborate, share best practices, discuss trending IT topics. I like to point out that while we are happy to talk about JumpCloud, these aren't entirely JumpCloud focused. So we have other JumpCloud events. We have the webinars. We have our roadshow series that are all about JumpCloud. But in the meetups, we like to talk about other things to really give you the resources and tools you need in order to succeed and help each other succeed. So it's a lot of fun. We've been having a great time at meeting everyone, and we look forward to meeting more people. So that being said, make sure that you join our community network. I will post the link in the chat. But yeah, we have started to publish our April events, which is super exciting. A couple of weeks ago, we started our expansion. So we added 4 new cities to our meetup network, which is super exciting. So yeah, we'll have even more events next month. So make sure you check it out on our meetup network. But yeah, as always, feel free to reach out to us if you're interested in getting involved. As we move throughout the year, we will be looking to host more in-person events. So we'll be leaning on some of our ambassadors and advocates and key partners to help us facilitate those. So if you're interested in helping us out with that, please reach out. But yeah, it's a super good time. We're all there. So yeah, come hang out with us and talk about tech.
Yeah.
And my most important update is that I am dog sitting this weekend, and I just wanted to show her off because she's super cute. Her name is Judy.
Judy.
So yeah.
All right, we're 2 for 2 on pet appearances.
Yeah.
So
CJ has yet to make an appearance on the ITR, has he? He's always sleeping at
not in a while. So yeah, I had to bring a golden retriever on here to make up for your lack.
Well, I might
Ooh,
wake up
gauntlet.
my puppy from his nap, his very important sleeping nap, to come entertain the masses. Okay,
That's right.
just
And
kidding.
That is important.
another important update is your poll is deadlocked.
Is it deadlocked?
It's in a tie.
It's 4-4. So 4 votes for folded. By the way, this is folded. This is folded, so you can change your vote. Right. This is folded. This is the interlocked. Right. So do I do the interlocked champion or do I do the folded champion? And we're 4 for 4. There's 21 people here sitting in this event, so I would expect a little bit more participation here. Thank you. Okay, all right, we got a couple more votes. All right, cool. All right, so moving on. Thank you, Alexa. Thank you, Becky. By the way, for on the meetups, we are looking to sponsor and host meetup groups. So if you're in an area that you think is already on our IT admin network and you want to be a part of that, you have some experience with that and you would like to be, our in-person ambassador for those particular meetups or create your own, we are interested in supporting that. We are interested in helping that and sponsoring that. So don't hesitate to reach out to community@jumpcloud.com and we can get in contact with you and talk about how that might look. So cool. And now let's go ahead and just transition real fast just to a few of what I call minor releases. Now, everything at JumpCloud is a huge release. I love all of the releases that we do, but there are some things that kind of happen that are quality of life that don't get all the fanfare, such as like a whole go-to-market thing and a press release and all that kind of good stuff. So they land on my beautiful show where we get to talk about them and ask questions and that kind of stuff. We also do have a major release that we want to talk about, which is why I have Joranna and Tyler here to go through that here in a second. So stay tuned. All right. Real quick. So one of our minor releases that kind of slid under the cracks is our Amazon Linux 2022. So now that JumpCloud Agent can be installed on the Amazon Linux 2022 preview systems. In addition, we'll provide 0-day support when Amazon Linux 2022, the AL 2022 is released. That is the next generation of Amazon Linux from Amazon Web Services and is currently available as a public preview. So that is something that we are supporting right from the jump. So yay. If you do have any questions on that, feel free to post in chat. I can answer it the best that I possibly can. Or if you want to hear more about how we work with Linux servers and how we interface with AWS, also let us know. I would love to bring some people in to talk about that, especially about the AWS integrations. I think everyone's a little bit terrified of AWS because it's a beast. So, hey, I'm all for learning some more about that kind of stuff as well. We also have automated device enrollment, ADE, for iOS and Mac OS. So we're introducing the automated device enrollment for iOS and iPadOS devices. All new devices purchased from Apple or supported resellers and assigned to JumpCloud will be required to enroll in JumpCloud's MDM during Setup Assistant. This will allow you to select and skip specific Setup Assistant screens, select a default group for devices that complete the automatic device enrollment, and also require authentication to JumpCloud during the Setup Assistant. That's cool. And I don't know a whole lot of details about that. I do actually manage my iPhone through JumpCloud as well, through my own personal that I have through my domain and the whole nine. So I'll be interested to see how that works as we go through that. But I don't think that my actual phone is eligible for that because whatever. Right? And then we have, this is actually really, really cool, everyone. It's just, it's the simple things in life sometimes. It's like the quality of life improvement. It's just a simple little thing that to me is just huge. Like it's really cool to have a really cool big feature set, but then when you just make these small little changes to quality of life things within the admin panel, it really goes a long way and it really shows how much our product managers are listening. So you can now see, I think it's either going to be, if it's not out right now, it'll be out, here soon, coming into either today or over the weekend. But you can now show supported resources on the MFA configuration page. So we continuously add MFA support for all of our resources. And so as we expand our conditional access capabilities, it's not always clear which factors are enabled or supported on a particular resource. So now with this new release, you can clearly see which resources are supported and enabled for each MFA factor, which is really, really neat. And I think this is, I can't really, I'm not supposed to speak about things that are coming up or release dates yet, but I do know that there is in works probably in the next week or two for another really cool quality of life. And I'll talk about that when it's available, but that's with a little flag on the user screen, on the user column that shows that protect is enabled or not, right? So that way you can actually see if they are MFA enabled, and then also if they're using JumpCloud Protect with that as well. So just these small little quality of life improvements that I really value. So I want to make sure that they get the room to breathe and to be celebrated, just like our next topic, which is the whole point of why we're here. Excuse me, is OS patch management. We talked about it briefly before on the ITR with Tom Bridge. We talked about what our scope was and what we're looking to try to do. But now we're live. It's out. Is that right, Joranna?
Oh, yes. It's out late afternoon yesterday. So really excited to announce the general availability of patch management. So like Ben said, the little things in life, like having utensil, makes your life easy. But sometimes it's really nice to have a big party, right, where everybody can join in. So patch management is actually a new category on the JumpCloud directory platform. So now, we just provide a very easy button for you guys to do your patch update and push out notifications. So I will hand over to Tyler to talk more about that.
And Joranna, before we go, this is the first time you've been on the IT Hour. Maybe you can introduce yourself for everyone so they know who you are.
Yes, it's like my debut, and I totally forgot to say who I am. Sorry, guys. So anyway, I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager here at JumpCloud, and my primary focus is on the devices team. So nice to see you guys, and I hope to interact more with you guys. And thanks for having me to this show, Ben.
Of course. So if you have questions about anything, ask Joranna, because she's the one that has the inside scoop, and she knows. She's on the product marketing side though, so she's more along the communications of our features out there. So technical stuff we might not be able to get into because we don't know all those technical nuances at the moment, but we can get those resources available quickly.
Yeah, so, and definitely, if you have questions that I can't answer, I will definitely, go hunt my PMs, product managers, and try and get them for you. So definitely throw those questions to me. Thank you.
Awesome. And Tyler, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we can get into the rest of the meat of patch management.
Sure. It's also my first time in IT Hour, so thank you for having me. Good to meet everybody. But I am my name is Tyler Koltes. I'm a solution consultant here at JumpCloud. I've been here for a long time and done a lot of different things. Really, what I do now is just pre-sales help. We help you guide you from where you are to the promised land that is JumpCloud. And this new feature is so cool. We're really excited about this. I'm having trouble sharing my screen. There was this new Chrome update, so I'm going to enlist Ben. I'm actually going to share and use a visual aid because we all need some visual aids on a Friday, right?
I'm surprised that you trust me with this level of responsibility.
I'm trusting you. There's only 2 screens to look at, so I have faith.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Is my screen being shared?
It sure is.
All righty.
All right. Fantastic. Let's go down.
Real quick, but if you can't see the screen, there's a button or a box at the below of the screen that you can click on to maximize it, and that's where you can actually see what's happening. So, all right. So policy management, is that right?
Let's go to the devices tab first, because there's a fancy new thing that is this overview. So this is actually giving you a breakdown of all of the different devices that are currently in your environment. What do you have installed? So this is, a dummy account. I couldn't share my screen. This is just Ben's one. But what you'll see here is if you have 10 devices, 5 Windows, 5 Mac, you'll get a list. These are Big Sur. These are Catalina, if you still have Catalina. These are your Windows 10 devices or Windows 8 devices. So it gives you that nice digest, just viewing exactly who has access to what. And then up at the top there, you'll see you can filter by devices that have been active in the last week or the last 30 days to really get a sense of who has been signing in, so that people that are still actively using their devices, you can make sure that they are up to date as needed. Next big thing here is the release trains themselves. So you'll see the Mac OS and the Windows tab there. We will let you keep track of when the last updates, the major updates, were released for all of the different operating systems that are in your environment. So some of them go back 192 days, probably doesn't matter too much, but this lets you then decide how you're going to roll out new updates, which is the last part here, enforcing the updates themselves. So over on the right, you see Manage OS Patch Policies. Let's click that shiny green button over there. This is the cool one. So what you see here pre-built into it, he's already got his Windows policies pre-populated here. We can also add in ones for Mac. So there are 8 defaults, and they really go through 4 different release schedules. So you can be an early adopter, which means in the first week, you're going to get your new updates rolled out. General adoption, I believe, is 15 days. Ben, if you just want to click on any of these, you'll see some of the additional features that are coming as a part of this. So we're not going to talk about every button, but this gives you a ton of control over how users can defer updates, how long that they have to defer updates before they're automatically installed for your Windows devices. Things like release trains, things like major or minor updates getting rolled out, or non-OS patching getting rolled out as well. So there's a ton of stuff under the covers here. The neat thing is that you can build your own custom policies as well. So you can modify all of these different fields so that your different user groups, or device groups in this case, can be upgraded and updated in different ways. So maybe you don't care so much about what your sales team is doing, or at least compared to what your engineering team is doing. They need to get those 0-day releases and they can deal with the fallout, right? So in this way, you're just going to have so much more, not only visibility, but control, forcing people to do the right thing and get updated so that you can stay secure within your JumpCloud environment. So you see how this fits into the greater story, right? We already had a really easy way of managing policies and deploying software. Now you just get this extra boost to your security posture, being able to force updates, not just monitor it, but force people to do the right thing.
Yeah, this update enforcement and restart settings, and then also the notification settings, you can actually configure auto restart required. For that, you can specify reminder period for auto restart in minutes. So basically, you can annoy somebody every 15 minutes until they finally update. I shouldn't say necessarily annoy. You can politely remind them every 15 minutes to update their operating system.
It's aggressive encouragement. It's different.
Yes. Aggressive encouragement. So with this, deploying it would be very, very simple. Like Tyler said, I already have a couple here that I did. But let's say, for instance, and to Becky's point, disclaimer, you may see some things in our demo accounts that may not be available to everyone. This is 100% true. I forgot to mention that. You might see some things in the admin panel that might not actually become features or release to product. It's just some things that we put out there so we can test and we can play with and see how things are going. So before I do this real quick question, we'll be able to click on the accounts or OS versions to filter those devices. So that's actually a really good question.
Yes.
Because I think what they're talking about is like right in here where it says Mac OS Big Sur or account. Could you click on this and actually go to a list of those devices?
Yes. So what you can see is, well, I really wish I could share my screen. So this will give you a little like pie chart graph of the distribution. If you were talking about, will this allow you to basically have a cross-link that says, I have 7 devices that are Mac OS Big Sur 11 point whatever. You're not going to be able to click that and see like a smaller group and says, this is, these 4 different host names, right? Or these 4 different people's devices. Yeah. So it is more general. It's not going to give you the direct device list at this time.
Cool. And then another question from Nathan. Is there any reporting tied to this and the status of systems in their current patch level?
Would that be kind of a similar vein of just what is your entire, like, find non-compliant devices and then let's do something with them? I'm not sure I follow the exact question, but maybe smarter people on the panel understood it better than me.
Yeah, I think what he's asking for is some reporting that's tied to the status. So basically, like if you went into, like, for instance, could I grab a report from Directory Insights or from a place where I can actually just export out a list of all of my devices that are currently what their current patch level is at? And that's usually and Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to speak on your behalf, but a lot of compliance and reporting says, hey, what is your current snapshot of updates? How is your fleet looking right now? I can export a report, give that to the auditor, and then be able to report on what my patch status is.
Yeah, so I can jump in and say to that. I think the general reporting you can get from System Insight and etc. So for patch management, that's something that is going to be a fast follow, and that will be coming out sometime next quarter. You can definitely generate a report for compliance purposes. So again, for the patch management solution, the initial release here is just on Windows and Mac operating system. And then next, maybe next month or two, we are looking at Linux and reporting. And then, we'll add on stuff like browser patching and application or software third-party application down the road. So, as we go along before the end of this year, we will have a real robust solution. So I definitely encourage you guys to check it out and ask more questions, and hopefully, give us more feedback so that we can make this solution even more accommodating to everybody's use.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joranna, for that, because I agree. The reporting on updates and patching, especially when it comes to, like, say, servers, right? Because you don't always have, all visibility into servers, but if you had something like this where I can just get a quick snapshot of all of my servers and if they're up to date and where my gaps might be, especially from a compliance standpoint, that would definitely be huge. And I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think that would be amazing. So
yeah, and I mean, for a lot of people, you can just get rid of your spreadsheet, right? And that report that you have on your desktop, and who's updated, what's not updated, where do I have to pull all these new updates, who has patched, who has not, whatever. So you get everything, right? Your visibility all on this dashboard, which Tyler mentioned. We call it the donut chart, not the pie chart, because it kind of show you where everybody is. But then, yeah, you will have that, right? And then you can, at a glance, tell, okay, 30 of my users are already up to date, and 40 still have not patched, what's going on, right? And then start nudging them and encourage them or enforce them to just do it now. And the great part too, I think Tyler have not mentioned, you can also delay, for the end user to update, when they want to update, and then make sure that they restart at a time, the machine at a convenient time, and not when they're having a major, board meeting or customer call, right? So there's stuff that, you can customize, and it would be very useful, not just only for you, but for your end user. And they will appreciate all this little thing that you guys thought of them when you push up an update. Just like how, iPhone always tell you, please update now. Do you want to do it now or tonight, or, while you're sleeping, right? So we're trying to, encourage those behavior for your end user too.
yeah.
Yep.
And then there was another question from Mike, and Mike asked a question: can we see a patch history for an individual device? And from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong unless there's something else, that was already built into System Insights with our patches table for the machines. So you can actually go in here and see, like, for instance, that this KB patch here was a security update that was installed on February 25th of 2021, right? This was a VM that I haven't launched in quite some time. I don't usually live in this one anymore. But this is where you would actually see patches. Now, can we improve upon this with the patch management solution as far as breaking down actual, like, based off of those patch policies and history? Definitely would love to hear more about how you would use that, or if this satisfies that need, or if you need something a little bit more granular, a little bit more detailed. So, and then you can just, of course, just export this out, beep, beep, and that shows you the history of all the patches. So this might be helping in some of those compliance and that kind of stuff, so you can actually see where you're at is in regard to patches and updates.
Yeah, things always get better. We release something and it's already awesome, but then we're going to keep improving this. We're going to add extra, export options, extra features like Joranna was mentioning. We already have some really neat things like wake if it's plugged in the middle of the night and start doing your updates then. So you'll see a lot of quality of life things, just like we were talking about at the beginning. More is always going to be added in. So,
and you know what? There's more is better when it comes to patch management. Like honestly, my philosophy, and I'm just going to say this to the community. My philosophy is that we should be giving our IT admins as many tools and resources as possible to be able to meet their demands of their organization. And I say that because every organization is different and every organization has different needs and requirements. And I think this is one step in that direction to really offer more of what every admin needs. And so I'm super excited about this and all the work for everybody at JumpCloud that worked on this. Tom Bridge, Scott Reed. I'm missing names. Joranna, if you want to help me out. Greg was involved with this. A bunch of other people as well. I have the doc pulled up somewhere, actually.
Yeah, Greg Amanini, Humanshu, there's Josh Rowland. There's a whole bunch of PMs are involved with this actually.
So Mike, I don't think it'll wake up the Mac and apply the update at night. I don't.
That is a Windows feature right now. It's not yet there for Macs. Like we took a monumental leap forward that now we can do Mac patching. We need to get some of the bells and whistles like we have for Windows after.
Yeah. Another thing is, can you roll back updates when you think about patch management? Everyone always asks about, well, can I roll it back? Well, with Mac, there's really no rollback. Mac is like, this is where you're at. You can roll back if you did like a reinstall of the operating system, right? Because it has within the recovery, it has like the old operating system that they shipped with. So you can recover that way. But with Windows, you can somewhat roll back, but that's native to Windows, not necessarily native to the patch management solution. So you'd be able to go back to another previous time, a point in time with Windows for a different operating system, where there's also scripts and commands that can do that. And Jeff Burnt, you're mentioning a third-party solution, I believe, called RollMac. Is that right? I don't know, or Macroll, RollMac, Macroll. I don't know. Are those actual am I being trolled? Is that an actual application? I had never heard of it. Maybe that's just funny. I'll just wait for it. I think it actually is a real thing. Rickroll. Am I getting Rickroll on Macroll here? What's going on here? Cool. So I might be able to leverage the PowerNat feature though. If it can check email periodically, it might maybe the agent can take advantage of that. That's actually a good point. So we don't have a well, I do have a couple IT trends. Oh, Joranna, Tyler, thank you so much for taking the time out of your Friday to come hang out and talk about patch management. Before we let you two go, was there any last bits or pieces that you wanted to throw out there for patch management? No.
Just my overwhelming enthusiasm for it. How about that?
Yeah. Just go try it and buy it and give us more feedback, of course.
Awesome. I don't really have a whole lot of IT trends because usually when we do these product spotlights like this, it takes the segment of IT trends or the IT hot seat, I like to call it. We did have a couple though that I did throw in here that I wanted to at least bring up. So there's a couple good ones. So in case you were wondering, there was a huge, massive outage at Apple. That was a very big one, causing a lot of services to be impacted. So like iMessage, everything, right? The App Store, the whole nine. So and I think that was just like in this last week. So if you had an impact with that, that's why it was a huge, massive outage. Apple is working through that project or that process. But this was an interesting one. So Windows 11 will start. So everyone's familiar if you're running on a Windows 11 operating system that does not have a license. You have that cool little watermark down there in the bottom right-hand corner, like right in here somewhere. Is it right here or is it right here? I don't know. that says, hey, you're running an unauthorized or unlicensed copy of Windows 11. So what Windows 11 is going to do going forward is if you have unsupported hardware, so we're talking like the TPM or whatever the case is, if you have unsupported hardware on Windows 11, they're going to be adding the same type of watermark on there as well. So just be prepared that you might get that watermark if you're using hardware on Windows 11 that is not supported. So other than that, that's all I got as far as the IT hot seat or the IT trends. A couple of closing things, just a quick announcements. We do have our on March 31st, so next week, we have our JumpCloud's Q2 2022 product roadmap webinar. What? Copy link URL and posting into chat as right now. So if you want to hear from all of the people who are in charge of making our products and offering the features and solutions, come to the webinar on March 31st next week. It's at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Register. The link is now in the chat, so make sure that you go check that out. If you can't make it, that's fine. Still register, and you will receive a recording. So if you have any questions about our Q2 roadmap and what we're doing, go to the webinar, be there. And then there's the security for MSPs, building a defensible tech stack. That's on April 7th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will also copy copy link URL, and I will paste it in there as well. And that is a really cool webinar as well. That's on, again, April 7th at 12 p.m. Security for MSPs. So if you are in an MSP, or you're thinking about becoming an MSP, or you already are an MSP and you manage that, this is a webinar to help you build a defensible tech stack. So go check that out. And yes, there is James' question is, I completely missed this IT hour. James, come on. I'm sorry you missed it. It will stay here on Crowdcast for a little while. And then we also syndicate this over on our YouTube channel on youtube.com/JumpCloud. And you can find the playlist for the IT hour, so you can come hang out and watch there as well. The long sleeve t-shirt I'm wearing is the one that we're going to get. I don't think so. I think these t-shirts are a little prestigious there, James. We might. I'll see what I can do. But anyways, thanks everyone for coming. Thanks everyone for hanging out. And we will be back next week with another really good show. Again, IT hour is every Friday at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. That's my daughter. She's playing with a Grinch. And so come check us out next week as well. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Please subscribe and check out more content from us.